woman of strong character is integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. It is being honest, truthful, and fair in every action. It is being loyal to your word. I once told an audience, your reputation is the shadow of your character, and it will follow you everywhere. Let me give you a real-life story. Early in my career, I had the opportunity to make a deal that could have made me some quick money, but it required me to cut a corner, to be less than honest. I hesitated. My mentor said, Jim, do you want to be rich today, or do you want to be rich forever? I chose the latter. I did not make the easy money, but that choice shaped the rest of my life. You see, integrity is not just a moral choice, it is a practical one. It builds trust, it builds relationships, it builds a reputation that lasts. A man or woman of strong character cannot be easily manipulated, cannot be easily shaken, and cannot be easily replaced. Step 4. Learn from every experience. Now, discipline and integrity are essential, but life will still test you. And here's where strong character grows even more. Learn from every experience. Success teaches lessons. Failure teaches lessons. Every conversation, every opportunity, every challenge, all of them teach lessons. I often tell audiences, don't just read books. Live books. Apply what you learn. Fail. Succeed. Reflect. Adjust. I remember my mentor telling me, Jim, don't wish life were easier. Wish that you were stronger. If you encounter difficulties, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What in my character is being tested? The answers to those questions strengthen your character. Step 5, surround yourself with strong people. You cannot build a strong character in isolation. You must surround yourself with mentors, peers, and friends who reflect the character you aspire to have. I remember when I first started attending seminars and workshops, I met people who had discipline, courage, and vision. Simply by being around them, I absorbed some of their mindset. Earl Schoaf said to me, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I took that advice seriously. I quit complaining friends. I left unproductive habits behind. I sought out those who could challenge me, teach me, and inspire me. Strong character grows when you are influenced by people who embody strength. Step 6, take action consistently. Character is not built in theory, it is built in practice. You can read every book on integrity, discipline, and responsibility, but if you do not act, nothing changes. I often tell audiences, knowledge without application is wasted. Action without knowledge is reckless. Combine both, and you are unstoppable. Strong character is shown when you take responsibility, exercise discipline, live with integrity, learn from experience, and then consistently take action. And action is not glamorous. Often, it is small, daily, and routine. I used to save a little money each week. I used to read a chapter of a book every day. I used to keep my word even on trivial things. Those small actions accumulated over time. And over time, your character grows. Step 7, face adversity with courage. Finally, strong character is revealed and strengthened in adversity. Life will not be easy. Life will not be fair. But how you respond to adversity defines your character. I tell people, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change requires courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action despite the fear. I remember early in my career, I spoke to small groups. Often I was nervous. I was inexperienced. But I forced myself to speak anyway. Each time, my confidence grew. Each time, my character grew. And life will give you bigger tests. Strong character allows you to face them with grace, patience, and resilience. So, what is the reward of building a strong character? Respect from others, self-confidence, the ability to handle adversity, a meaningful life, true success. And here is the secret. Strong character is its own reward. It allows you to live with pride, to sleep with peace, and to walk with dignity. You see, people may take your money, your position, even your reputation, but no one can take your character unless you give it away. And character, once built, becomes the foundation for everything else. If you build a strong character, success, wealth, influence, and joy will naturally follow because people trust you, opportunities seek you, and life opens doors to you. So, my challenge to you today is simple. Take responsibility, practice discipline, live with integrity, learn from every experience, surround yourself with strong people, take consistent action, face adversity with courage. Do this, and you will not only have a strong character, you will have a life worth living. Because success is fleeting, wealth can vanish, fame is temporary, but a strong character lasts forever. Thank you for your attention. And remember, your life is a reflection, a seminar on the power of daily. Build it wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm glad you're here, because if you're here, it means you care about progress, and progress is a fascinating subject. Most people want dramatic change. They want transformation. They want the breakthrough. But what they don't understand is this. Breakthroughs are public. Consistency is private. And life responds to what you do privately, not occasionally, not emotionally, but consistently. Let me start with something simple. Success is not built in a day. It is built daily. That's a big difference. You can't eat one healthy meal and expect a healthy body. You can't read one book and expect a transformed mind. You can't make one sales call and expect a thriving business. It is not intensity that changes your life. It is consistency. The myth of motivation. Now, people often say, Jim, I just need more motivation. No, you don't. Motivation is temporary. It's like taking a shower. You feel good, but it doesn't last. That's why you need it regularly. But discipline is structural. Motivation gets you started. Consistency keeps you going. And the marketplace does not reward enthusiasm. It rewards consistency. Your family does not benefit from your good intentions. They benefit from your steady presence. And he never complained. Your body does not respond to your inspiration. It responds to your habits. The power of small acts. Let me ask you a question. How much exercise does it take to be healthy? Not extreme exercise, just enough. How much reading does it take to stay sharp? Not 10 hours a day, just enough. How much saving does it take to build wealth? Not everything you earn, just enough. Small amounts. Repeated. Here is what most people underestimate. Small disciplines, compounded over time, create massive results. And small errors, compounded over time, create disaster. Consistency works both ways. It builds, or it destroys. The farmer's lesson. If a farmer goes out and plants seeds for 1 week, and then decides he doesn't feel like farming anymore, what happens? Nothing grows. You cannot plant occasionally and harvest consistently. The law of the harvest says, you reap what you sow, you reap later than you sow, and you reap more than you sow, but only if you keep sowing. The soil does not reward enthusiasm. The soil rewards consistency. And life is very much like soil. The gap between start and finish. Most people are excellent starters. They attend the seminar, They buy the book, they write the goals, they join the gym, and then they disappear. Because somewhere between start and finish is monotony. And monotony is where winners are separated from wishers. The middle is boring. The middle is repetitive. The middle is quiet. But the middle is where success lives. Consistency builds identity. Here is something powerful. Consistency doesn't just change your results, it changes your identity. If you read every day, you become a reader. If you exercise every day, you become a healthy person. If you keep your promises every day, you become reliable. You are not what you say you are. You are what you repeatedly do. And identity drives behavior. The more you act consistently, the more natural success becomes. Emotional stability. Let me tell you something important. Consistency requires emotional stability. You cannot be governed by moods. If you only act when you feel like it, you will live a very small life. Because feelings change, weather changes. Energy changes, circumstances change. But your commitment must not. The amateur waits for inspiration. The professional shows up regardless. If you want professional results, you must adopt professional consistency. The danger of stopping. Here's the tricky part about consistency. It's fragile. You can build momentum for months and break it in days. You can build trust for years and lose it in one moment of carelessness. You can build health for a decade and undo it through neglect. Success loves momentum, and momentum loves consistency. Once you stop, starting again is twice as hard. The compound effect. Let's talk about money for a moment. If you save a small amount every week consistently, what happens? It grows. How can I help? Not dramatically at first. In fact, at first it feels insignificant. But over time, it becomes powerful. Consistency turns pennies into prosperity. Now reverse it. Spend a little more than you earn consistently. What happens? Debt compounds too. Consistency does not care which direction you choose. It multiplies whatever you practice. Relationships and consistency. Relationships are built the same way. Not through grand gestures, but through consistent kindness, consistent listening, consistent respect. If you only show love when it's convenient, don't be surprised when love weakens. If you only apologize when forced, don't be surprised when trust erodes. Consistency builds security, and security builds strong relationships, health, and consistency. People ask me, Jim, what's the secret to health? There isn't one. Eat reasonably, move daily, rest adequately, do it consistently.
Now, money's not the only place to start.
You don't need heroic effort. You need daily effort. The body rewards rhythm. The body responds to repetition. Miss a day? Fine. Miss a week? Trouble. Miss a year? Consequences. Success is boring. Let me say something you may not hear often. Success is boring. It is doing the same right things over and over again. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is structured. Waking up at the same time, studying the same way, making calls every day, tracking numbers every week, reviewing goals every month. Consistency removes chaos. Chaos destroys progress. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. The discipline of review. I want to begin with a simple observation. One of the great disciplines is review. Life is not determined. Most people set goals once a year and forget by luck. Life is winners review daily. Your job, weekly, your boss, monthly. Life is consistency and reflection prevents inconsistency in behavior. Yes, the questions you ask yourself. You don't measure it, you drift. And every day. If you don't review it, the quality of your life is directly related to the quality. If you don't correct it, it compounds. I learned this many years ago from my mentor. Let me make this very practical. If you want to change your life, he said to me, do this. Show up every day. Show up when you feel good. Show up when you feel tired. Show up when you feel discouraged. Show up when no one applauds. Because here's what happens when you show up consistently. People notice. Trust grows, opportunity grows, skill grows. But more importantly, Self-respect
success
grows.
come to some
You begin to
people
believe in yourself.
and not to me?
Not because you
Those are the
succeeded
wrong
once,
questions.
but because
Wrong
you kept
questions
going.
bring you the wrong
Consistency
answer.
and character.
Wrong answers
Character is built through
bring you
consistency.
the wrong results.
Integrity is not
If you want
proven
a
in
better
a single
life,
moment.
you must learn to
It is
ask
proven over
the
time.
right
If your words and actions
Step one,
match consistently,
ask
you are
questions
trustworthy.
about yourself.
If they only
The
match
first set of
occasionally,
questions
you
is
are
about who
unpredictable.
you are
And unpredictable
and what
people
you are
rarely
becoming.
lead.
Because life
Consistency
is not something
builds
that
credibility.
happens to you.
Credibility
Life
builds
is a reflection
influence.
of the person you are.
Influence
Ask
builds
yourself,
opportunity.
who am I really?
The long view.
Am I growing?
Here's what gives
or am I
consistency its
stagnating?
power.
What
Time.
habits am I practicing
Time
that are
magnifies
helping me?
everything.
And which
The
ones
question is
are
not what
hurting
can you do today.
What
The
is my
question is what
philosophy
can you
about
do
money,
every day.
relationships, and
Because
time?
anything you do every
Am
day
I
shapes
becoming
your
the person
destiny.
I need to be?
The man who reads
to
20
achieve
pages
my
a day
goals?
becomes educated. The person who saves daily becomes financially stable. The athlete who trains
I
daily
remember
becomes
telling a
skilled.
young man in a seminar,
Not because of talent, but because of accumulated effort. The courage to continue.
you are
Consistency
working hard.
requires courage. Not the courage to
Hard.
leap, but
But
the
are you
courage
working
to
on-
continue. To keep going when results are invisible. To keep
The right
practicing
things.
when applause is
Are you
absent.
working on
to keep
yourself?
building when growth
He
is
looked
slow.
puzzled.
The
I
early
said,
stages of
"Don't
consistency
wish
feel
life were
unrewarding.
easier. Wish you were
But growth
better."
is happening beneath
That
the
is the
surface.
first key question.
Just like roots before
Am
the
I
tree
growing
appear.
today in a way that
Guard
will
your
matter
standards.
tomorrow?
Consistency
Many people
depends on
focus on
standards.
what they want,
What do you
but the
tolerate?
question should always
What
be,
do you allow?
who do I need to become
If
to
you lower your
deserve
standards,
what I want?
consistency collapses.
I learned this the
If you
hard
protect
way.
your standards,
I used-
consistency
It took
strengthens.
time,
Your
mentorship,
standards determine your
reflection,
actions. Your
and
actions
action to
determine
understand.
your results.
You don't get what you want.
Final thought.
You get what you
Let me leave
become.
you with this.
Ask yourself.
You don't need to be
Am I
extraordinary.
disciplined enough to
You
handle
need to be
success when
consistent.
it comes?
You don't need
Am I
to do
honest
everything.
enough to earn the
You
trust
need to
of
do the
others?
right things
Am I
repeatedly.
patient enough
You don't
to
need a
stay
breakthrough
consistent
year. You need
when
disciplined
results are
days.
slow?
Because
These are the
days
questions
turn into
that
weeks.
shapes character.
Weeks turn into months.
And character is the
Months turn
foundation
into years.
of a better life.
And years
Step two,
turn into a life.
ask questions
And when
about
someone
your
looks
goals.
at your success,
The second set of questions
they will
is
say,
about your direction
"You're
and
lucky,
purpose."
but you'll
Because
know the
people
truth.
drift through
It
life
wasn't
without
luck.
asking.
It was
Where am I
consistency.
going?
Thank
What
you.
is my ultimate purpose? Are my daily actions aligned
Ladies
with
and
my
gentlemen, thank
long-term
you
goals?
for being here
I remember
today.
a story from one of my
I want to talk
seminars.
about something
I
that will
asked a
never
man,
go out of style.
How much have you saved for the
Something that
future?
is timeless.
He said, not much.
Something that is far
I'll get to
more
it later.
important than money,
I said, let me ask you a
fame,
question.
or
Where
position.
will later be
I
when
want
you
to
are
talk about
60?
building a strong
He
character.
paused.
You see,
And
wealth,
that pause
success,
changed him.
education,
You see, asking
influence,
the right questions
they are all
forces
useful.
clarity.
They all
And
can
clarity
serve
brings
you.
results.
But if you don't
Ask
have
yourself,
a strong character,
what is
they
my
will serve you
life's
poorly,
purpose?
or they will
Am I
vanish
building
when
skills
tested.
that will
A
matter 10
strong
years
character
from now?
is your inner
If
backbone,
I keep living the
the
same
unseen
way,
foundation
where will I be in 5
upon
years?
which every achievement,
What is the one thing
every
I could do
relationship,
today
every joy
that would
is
make
built.
the biggest difference in my
Without
life?
it, life
One of my
becomes a
favorite
series of
phrases is,
disappointments,
discipline is the
frustration,
bridge between goals
and regrets.
and
Now,
accomplishments.
I want to share with you what I
But
have
before
learned
discipline,
about character
you need
over the
clarity.
years, not just from
And clarity
books, but
comes
from
from
life
the questions
itself,
you ask yourself.
and from
If you
some of the
never
wisest
ask,
mentors I
am
ever
I moving
had,
in
like
the right
Earl
direction?
Schoaf,
You
and
will
from
drift.
experiences that taught me
And
lessons I could
drifting
not unlearn.
will waste
I want to give you
your
practical,
time,
real-life
energy,
guidance,
and
step by
potential.
step on how to
Step
build a
3,
strong character.
ask
Because a
questions
life of
about your
integrity,
relationship.
discipline, and respect
Life is not lived in
is not
isolation.
accidental.
Your relationships
It is
with
intentional.
family, friends,
So,
colleagues,
let's
mentors
begin.
shape your
Step
experience
1,
more than
take full
anything
responsibility for your life.
else. Ask yourself,
Character begins with
am I giving more
responsibility.
than I take?
You
Am I
cannot
a
build a
source of
strong
encouragement or
character by
criticism?
blaming others.
Who do I spend
You
the most
cannot
time
develop
with, and are they
integrity
helping
while
me grow?
pointing fingers.
Am
You
I
cannot
learning
grow
from people
courage
wiser
while
than
waiting
me?
for someone else to
I
save
often
you.
tell audiences,
I once told an audience,
you are the
you
average of the
cannot
5
change the
people
world
you
if you
spend the
cannot
most time
change
with.
yourself.
So
And the
ask
first
yourself,
step in changing
are my
yourself
friends lifting
is
me up or
accepting
dragging me down?
responsibility.
Are
I
my
learned this
children
lesson the
learning
hard way.
from my example?
When I was young, I worked for
Am
a
I
company,
nurturing relationships
and I was broke.
that matter?
I complained to
Or am
everyone
I
I
wasting
could
time on
about the
people who add
economy,
nothing of
my
value
boss,
to
my
my life?
colleagues,
I
and my
remember
lack of
sharing this
money.
story in a seminar.
And you know what happened?
A man came up to me and said,
Then a
"Jim, I
mentor
feel
of mine,
stuck.
Earl
I can't
Schoaf,
get ahead.
said to me, Jim, stop complaining. You are not poor because the economy is bad. You are not poor because your boss is unfair. You are poor because you have not learned the skills, discipline, and philosophy to create value. I did not like hearing it, and the discipline, but he was right. He taught me that the moment I took full responsibility for my life, not just my job, not just my finances, but all of it, things began to change. Here's the principle. If you take responsibility, you gain control. If you blame others, you lose control. I often share the story of a man who was a manager. He complained constantly about his employees. They are lazy, he said. They don't do their job right. I asked him, do you think your employees work any harder than you do? He thought for a moment and said, I suppose not. I said, then the problem is you. Most people lead them better, train them, inspire them. Don't blame them. Responsibility is the first cornerstone of strong character. When you take it, your integrity grows, your confidence grows, and your life grows. Character is not tested when things are easy. It is tested when things are difficult. And the foundation of character in difficult times is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. We have said that many times before, but it is even more essential when we speak of character. Money is important. Why? But how you think because character shows itself in what you do consistently. Am I managing my money wisely? You see, character is like a muscle, consistently? And muscles grow through resistance. As well as my if you want a strong back, you lift heavy. If you want strong legs, you run uphill. I often tell the story and if you want a strong character, you practice discipline. Let me give you an example I often share. How much have you saved I remember speaking to a young man who wanted to become successful in business. I said, then start asking. He said, I want success quickly. How can I increase my value? I asked him, are you willing to do the small things every day that will take years to show results? How can I spend less? He said, I want it now. I said, then I am afraid character is not ready for the rewards you want. Because life gives rewards to those who are prepared. Ask questions about your health. I remember starting my own journey. Is your greatest wealth. I had no money, no contacts, no fancy education. But I studied every day. I read books and exercising I listened to tapes. I wrote down goals. Am I reducing stress? I saved money. I worked on my own self-discipline even when no one was watching. If you don't take care of the little things, like waking up early, keeping promises, managing my expenses, speaking kindly, working diligently. It all seemed small. It all seemed insignificant at the time. It is never too late. But every small action added up. That is what builds character. Step 7. A strong character is consistent behavior aligned with your values. Ask yourself. And discipline gives you that consistency most of the time. Step 3. Live with integrity. The third cornerstone of strong character is integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. It is being honest, truthful, and fair in every action. It is being loyal to your word. I once told an audience, your reputation is the shadow of your character, and it will follow you everywhere. Let me give you a real-life story. Early in my career, I had the opportunity to make a deal that could have made me some quick money. But it required me to cut a corner, to be less than honest. I hesitated. My mentor said, Jim, do you want to be rich today, or do you want to be rich forever? I chose the latter. I did not make the easy money, but that choice shaped the rest of my life. You see, integrity is not just a moral choice. It is a practical mentoring or inspiring. It builds trust. It builds relationships. Success builds a reputation that lasts. Success is a man or woman of strong character cannot be easily manipulated, cannot be easily shaken, and cannot be easily replaced. Step 4. Learn from every experience. Now, discipline and integrity are essential. But life will still test you. And here's where strong character grows even more. Learn from every experience. Success teaches lessons. Failure teaches lessons. Every conversation, every opportunity, every challenge All of them teach lessons.
Holding me back.
I often tell audiences, don't just read books. Live books, apply what you learn to create the life I want. Succeed.
I once shared
reflect,
with an audience.
adjust.
If you want your life
I remember
to get
my
better,
mentor telling me,
you must
Jim, don't wish life were easier.
Comfort is the enemy.
Wish that you were
growth.
stronger.
Questions
if you encounter
are the tools
difficulties,
that
ask
take
yourself,
you from comfort
what can I learn from this? How can I improve?
The questions, the better the
what
life.
in my character is being tested?
Ask questions daily.
The answers to those questions strengthen your character.
Ask yourself
Step
questions
5.
every day.
Surround yourself
Start
with strong
simple
people.
Question in the morning.
You cannot build a strong character in isolation. You must surround yourself with mentors, peers, and friends
with one question
who reflect the character you aspire to have.
Today to grow, learn,
I remember when I
or
first started
improve.
attending seminars and workshops.
Questions consistently.
I met people who had
and your
discipline,
life
courage,
will
and vision.
respond.
Simply by
life
being
does
around
not
them,
give you
I
answers
absorbed
for
some of their
free.
mindset.
Life does
Earl
not
Schoaf
reward
said to me,
passivity.
you are the
Life
average of the
rewards
5
those
people you
who
spend
think
the most
deeply,
time with.
reflect
I
honestly,
took that advice seriously.
and act
I quit
intentionally.
complaining friends.
So today I
left
challenge you to make
unproductive
questions your
habits
most
behind.
powerful tool.
I sought
Ask
out
questions
those who
about
could
yourself.
challenge me,
Ask questions about
teach
your
me,
goals.
and inspire
Ask
me.
questions about your
Strong
relationships,
character
time,
grows
finances,
when you
health,
are
mind, and
influenced
legacy.
by people who
Ask
embody
questions that
strength.
challenge you.
Step
Ask
6.
questions daily.
Take action.
The life you dream
consistently.
of is not out there
Character
somewhere.
is not built in theory.
It is inside you,
It is
waiting
built
to be
in
unlocked
practice.
By the
You can read
questions
every
you
book
ask
on
and
integrity,
the actions
discipline,
you
and
take.
responsibility.
Remember,
but if you do not
success
act,
is not something you
nothing
pursue.
changes. I often tell
Success is
audiences,
something you attract
knowledge without
by the
application
person
is
you
wasted.
become.
Action without
And the
knowledge is
person you
reckless.
become
Combine
is
both,
shaped by the questions
and you are
you ask.
unstoppable.
Ask better
Strong
questions.
character is
Think better
shown
thoughts.
when you take responsibility,
Act with intention.
exercise discipline,
Grow your character.
live with integrity,
Live your best life.
learn from experience,
Thank you for your attention.
and then
And may the
consistently
questions you ask
take
today
action.
shape a better
And
life
action is
tomorrow.
not glamorous. Ladies and
Often,
gentlemen, thank
it
you
is
for being here.
daily and
I
routine.
appreciate you taking
I
the
used to
time
save a little
invest in
money each
yourself.
week.
I
That
used to read a
alone tells me
chapter of a
something
book
about
every
you.
day.
It
I
tells
used to
me
keep
you
my
care about
word
your
even on
future.
trivial things.
And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Those small
Not just
actions
success,
accumulated over
not
time.
just money,
Not
and
just
over time,
achievement.
we're going to
Your
talk
character
about your future.
grows. Because
Step
every
7, face
human
adversity
life
with courage.
is moving in one
Finally,
of two
strong
directions. Character is revealed
Toward discipline
and strengthened
or
in
toward
adversity.
regret.
Life
And
will
here's the
not be
tragedy
easy.
most people never
Life will
realize.
not be fair.
They don't choose regret.
But how you respond
They
to
simply
adversity
avoid
defines your character.
And regret shows
I
up
tell
later.
people, your
Let me
life
start
does
with
not
something
get
simple.
better by chance.
Life does not
It gets
punish
better
you
by
for what
change.
you don't know.
And change
Life
requires
punishes you
courage.
for what you don't do.
Courage is
Life
not
doesn't
the absence
respond
of
to
fear.
intentions.
Courage
Life
is
doesn't
taking
respond
action
to hope.
despite the fear.
Life
I remember
responds to
early
action.
in my career,
And action
I spoke to
requires
small
discipline.
groups. Now, discipline
Often
is not
I was
punishment.
nervous.
I was
Discipline is
inexperienced.
self-respect in action.
But I forced myself
It
to
is the
speak
decision
anyway.
to do what is hard now.
Each time,
so life
my
can
confidence
be easy
grew.
later.
Each
Regret
time, my
is the
character
opposite.
grew.
Regret is what
And
happens
life
when you choose what is
will
easy
give
now
you bigger tests
and discover later.
Strong character allows
that
you
life
to face
became
them
hard.
with grace,
Two prices.
patience.
Years ago, I
and
learned
resilience.
something that shaped the rest of my life.
What is
There
the
are only two
reward of
prices
building
in
a
life.
strong character?
The price of discipline,
Respect from
and
others.
the price of regret.
Self-confidence.
Discipline weighs ounces.
The ability to handle
Regret
adversity.
weighs tons.
A meaningful
You don't feel
life.
discipline very much
True
today.
success.
Getting
And
up
here is
early
the secret.
feels small.
Strong character
Reading
is
10
its own
pages
reward.
feels small.
It allows
Saving
you to
a little
live
money
with
feels
pride.
small.
To
Making
sleep
one
with peace.
extra phone call
and to
feels
walk
small.
with dignity.
But regret.
You see, people may
Regret
take your
arrives
money,
heavy.
your position,
Regret arrives when
even
your
your
health
reputation.
fails.
But no one
Regret
can take your
arrives when
character
your relationships collapse.
unless you give it away.
Regret
And
arrives when
character,
retirement
once
comes
built,
and the bank
becomes the
account
foundation
doesn't.
for everything else.
Discipline whispers.
If you build a
screams.
strong character,
My early years.
success,
Let me tell you
wealth,
about myself.
influence, and
When
joy
I was young, I was broke.
will naturally follow.
Not temporarily broke.
because people trust
Professionally
you.
broke. I worked
Opportunities
hard. I
seek
had a
you,
job. I showed up
and
every
life
day.
opens doors
But I was
to
going
you.
nowhere. So
I used to say
my challenge
things
to you
like,
today is simple.
Well,
take
someday
responsibility.
things will change.
Practice
Someday.
discipline.
That
Live with
dangerous
integrity.
word.
Learn
Someday
from
is not
every
a plan.
experience. Surround
Someday
yourself with
is an
strong
excuse.
people. Dressed
Take
up as
consistent
optimists.
action. Face adversity
I blamed
with courage.
everything. The
Do
company,
this,
the economy,
and you will not only
the
have a strong
opportunities,
character,
the timing.
you will have a.
Until one
Life
day a
worth
mentor of
living.
mine said,
Because
Jim,
success
if you
is
don't
fleeting,
change,
wealth can
nothing
vanish.
changes.
Fame
That
is
hurt.
temporary. But a strong character lasts forever. He said, "Thank you for your attention. You don't have a money problem. And remember, your life is a reflection of your character. Build it wisely. You cannot negotiate with reality. Let's get started. Reality always collects. And I want you to understand discipline begins with philosophy. Discipline does not begin with action, it begins with thinking. Your philosophy determines your behavior. Your behavior determines your results. If your philosophy says, "I'll start tomorrow," then tomorrow never comes. If your philosophy says, "I deserve success without sacrifice," then discipline becomes permanent. But if your philosophy says, "I am responsible," everything changes. Responsibility is the foundation of discipline. You cannot build a strong life on blame. You must say, "This is my life. These are my choices. This is my responsibility." When I finally accepted that, I stopped waiting for someone else to rescue me. I started rescuing myself, the small things. Here's what most people misunderstand. Discipline is not heroic. It's not dramatic. It's not one big decision. It's 1,000 small ones. Going to bed when you should. Eating what strengthens you. Reading instead of scrolling. Saving instead of spending. Tiny acts, repeated. Character is built quietly. Regret is built quietly too. Skipping workouts. Ignoring books. Avoiding tough conversations. Postponing goals. Nobody collapses in one day. They drift. And drifting always leads somewhere. The cost of comfort. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Comfort is dangerous. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Comfort is where ambition gets sedated. Comfort whispers, "You've done enough." Comfort says you deserve a break. Comfort says tomorrow. And comfort slowly builds regret. I tell people, if you are comfortable, check your direction. Growth feels uncomfortable. Learning feels uncomfortable. Change feels uncomfortable. But stagnation feels comfortable. Until it doesn't. Regret arrives later. Regret is patient. It doesn't knock today. It waits. It waits until your energy fades. Until your chances narrow. Until your body slows down. Then regret says, "You should have. You should have learned. You should have saved. You should have tried. You should have taken care of yourself. You should have told them you loved them." Regret speaks in should have. Discipline speaks in daily habits. Work harder on yourself. I used to work hard at my job. Hard. But my mentor said something that changed everything. "Jim, don't work harder on your job. Work harder on yourself. Your job can make you a living. But working on yourself makes you a fortune. Not just financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationally. Your income will rarely exceed your personal development. Neither will your happiness. The invisible bank account. I want you to imagine something. Every day you make deposits or withdrawals in an invisible account. It's called your future. When you read, you deposit. When you exercise, you deposit. When you save money, you deposit. When you keep your word, you deposit. But when you waste time, you withdraw. When you quit early, you withdraw. When you lie, you withdraw. When you ignore your health, you withdraw. One day, life hands you the balance. And whatever is there, that's what you live with. Discipline in relationships. Discipline is not just about money or success, it's about people. Strong relationships require discipline. Listening when you'd rather talk. Forgiving when you'd rather hold resentment. Showing appreciation when you feel busy. Neglect is easy. Connection takes effort. But neglect always creates regret. One day you realize you didn't call enough. You didn't listen enough. You didn't show up enough. Discipline builds relationships. Regret mourns them. Health, the silent account. Your health works the same way. Every meal is a vote. Every walk is a vote. Every late night is a vote. You are voting every day for the body you will live in later. People say it runs in my family. Maybe. But habits run stronger. You don't wake up sick. You practice it. You don't wake up strong. You practice that too. The courage to begin. Discipline starts with courage. Courage to admit, I can do better. Courage to say, this ends now. Courage to start when you feel unprepared.
Be committed.
Most people wait until they feel confident. Confidence comes after action, not before. You don't get motivated and then act. You act, and motivation follows.
It is about being
Delayed gratification.
Ask.
Discipline is delayed gratification. It's saying no to the cookie so you can say yes to health. It's saying no to impulse so you can say yes to freedom. It's saying no to distraction so you can say yes to progress. Every no to the wrong thing is a yes to the right future. Your future self is watching. Here's a powerful thought. Your future self is watching you right now, watching what you eat, watching how you spend, watching how you treat people, watching whether you quit. Your future self is either saying thank you or why did you do this to me? Which conversation do you want? Success is attractive. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And becoming requires discipline. You don't attract success by wanting it.
You don't have to change.
You attract success by becoming valuable. Skills,
to have more,
character,
you simply have to become more.
Consistency.
Now, money's not the only place to start. Money certainly isn't
the accumulation
the only value,
principle. Let me teach you something important.
Money's
Everything in life is accumulation.
Right? Kids are interested
Success
in money.
is accumulated discipline. Failure is accumulated neglect. Nobody ruins their life in one day. Nobody builds a great life in one day either. It's daily, quiet, unnoticed, until suddenly everyone says, wow, you're lucky. No, you were disciplined. Choose your hard. Life is hard. Discipline is hard. Regret is hard. Choose your hard. Working out is hard. Being unhealthy is hard. Saving money is hard. Being broke is hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Learning is hard.
I want to
Being
begin with a simple
ignorant is
observation.
hard.
Life
Choose
is
wisely.
not determined
Final season.
by your circumstances.
Let me leave you with this.
Life is not
One day
determined
you
by
will
luck.
reach a season called
Life is not
reflection.
determined by the
You will look
economy,
back,
your job,
and you will either
or
say,
your
I'm
boss.
glad I did,
Life is determined
or
by the questions
I wish
you
I
ask
had.
yourself.
That
Yes, the
moment is
questions you
coming
ask
for all
yourself
of us.
today, tomorrow,
And that moment is
and every
being
day.
built today.
Because the quality of your
By
life
what
is
you do
directly
when
related
nobody
to
is
the
watching.
quality of your questions.
By what you choose
I
when it
learned
would
this
be
many
easier
years
not
ago
to.
from my mentor,
By whether you
Earl
practice
Schoaf.
discipline or
He
allow
said to
regret
me,
to quietly
Jim,
take
the
root.
easiest thing in
So
the
here's
world
my
is
challenge
to
to
do
you.
what's easy.
Start small. Read
The most
10 minutes,
difficult
walk
thing
20
is to
minutes,
ask
save
yourself the
$5.
questions that make
Write
you
your
grow.
goals, make one call,
And I
keep one
believed it.
promise.
You
Small
see, most
disciplines
people go
practiced
through
daily
life
create extraordinary
asking
lives. And
questions
remember,
like,
you cannot
why is
change
life
yesterday,
so hard?
but you can
Why am I
build
not
tomorrow.
rich yet?
And tomorrow
Why does
begins
success
now.
come to some
Choose
people
discipline.
and not to
Because
me?
regret is
Those are the
far
wrong
more
questions.
expensive. Wrong questions bring you the wrong answers. Wrong answers
Today I want to share a simple
bring you the wrong
framework.
results.
5 principles
If you want a better life,
that can
you must
move a
learn
person
to ask
from ordinary
the right
results
questions.
to
Step
extraordinary
1.
reward.
Ask questions
This is
about
not
yourself.
about shortcuts.
The first set of
It's not
questions
about
is about
luck.
who you are
And it's
and
certainly
what
not about
you are
overnight
becoming.
success.
Because life is not
It's
something
about
that
becoming the
happens to
kind
you.
of person for whom
Life
success
is a reflection
becomes
of the
inevitable.
person you are.
Stay with
Ask
me,
yourself,
because
who am I really?
one
Am I
idea,
growing or
just
am I
one,
stagnating?
applied consistently,
What habits am I practicing
can
that are
change the
helping me
entire direction
and which ones
of
are
your
hurting
life.
me? What is my
Let me
philosophy
begin
about
with the
money,
reality
relationships,
that
and
most
time?
people don't
Am
like
I becoming
to
the
face.
person I need to be
Average
to
is
achieve
not a
my
disaster.
goals? I
It's a
remember
slow
telling a
leak.
young man in a seminar,
Most lives
you are
don't
working
collapse.
hard.
They
But are
quietly
you
settle.
working on the right
People
things?
don't fail dramatically.
Are you
They
working on
drift
yourself?
gradually,
He looked puzzled.
one missed
I
discipline
said,
at a time.
don't wish life
one
were
postponed
easier.
decision at a time.
Wish you were
result
better.
in average income,
That is the
average
first
health,
key
and average
question.
relationships.
Am I growing
Not
today in
because
a way
people are
that will
incapable,
matter tomorrow?
but because
Many
they never
people focus
declared
on
war
what they
on
want,
mediocrity.
but the question should always
Here's
be,
the danger.
who do I need to
Average feels
become to
comfortable.
deserve what I want?
And
I
comfort
learned this the hard way.
is the
I
greatest
used to want
threat to
success,
progress.
wealth, and freedom.
If you want a
But I
better
didn't want to
future,
pay the price of
you must
personal
first
development.
become dissatisfied with
time,
staying the same.
Mentorship,
Step
reflection,
1,
and action to
decide to be
understand.
serious.
You don't get what you
changes
want,
the day you decide
get
to
what
take
you
your life
become.
personally.
Ask yourself,
Not emotionally.
am I disciplined
Personally,
enough to handle
to get
success when
serious
it comes?
means you
Am I
stop
honest
blaming
enough
the
to earn the trust
economy,
of
your
others?
upbringing,
Am
or
I
your
patient
circumstances.
enough to stay
You
consistent?
recognize that while you may
when
not
results
control
are
everything
slow?
that happens, you
These
do
are the questions
control
that
what
shape
you do
character.
next.
And
Most people
character is the
negotiate with their
foundation
goals. They say
of a
things
better
like,
life.
I'll try.
Step 2,
I'll see what happens.
ask
I'll
questions
give it a
about
shot.
your goals.
But life
The second set of
rewards
questions is about your direction
not
and
negotiation.
purpose. Because people drift
Ask
through
yourself,
life without
where
asking,
should my life be in
where am I
5
going?
years if I live deliberately?
What is my ultimate purpose?
What skills
Are
must
my
I
daily
acquire?
actions aligned with
What
my
habits
long-term
must I
goals?
eliminate?
I remember a story
What
from one of my
standards must
seminars.
I raise?
I asked a man,
Serious people
how
write
much
things
have you
down.
saved
Serious
for
people
the
set
future?
deadlines. Serious people
He said,
keep
not
promises
much.
to themselves.
I'll get to it
The
later.
moment you get serious,
I said, let me
your
ask you a
calendar
question.
changes.
Where will later
Your
be when you are
conversations
60?
change.
He
Your
paused,
tolerance for distraction
and
changes.
that pause
And slowly
changed
but
him.
surely your results
You
begin
see,
to
asking
change.
the right questions
So,
forces
Get
clarity.
serious.
And clarity brings results.
Step 2, commit
Ask
to becoming
yourself,
smarter.
what is my
After
life's
seriousness
purpose?
comes growth.
Am I building
Success is not
skills that
reserved
will
for the
matter
strongest
10
or the
years from
fastest.
now?
It is
If I
reserved
keep
for
living the
most
same
adaptable.
way, where will I be
And
in 5
adaptability
years?
comes from learning.
What is the one thing I could do today
Make personal development a
that
part
would
of
make
your
the
daily
biggest
routine.
difference in my life?
Read 10 pages
One of
a
my
day.
favorite phrases
Listen to
is,
something educational.
discipline is the
Commute.
bridge between
Keep a journal.
goals and
Not of
accomplishments.
events, but of ideas.
But before discipline,
Ideas
you
are
need
the
clarity.
currency of progress.
And clarity comes
Here's
from
an
the
important
questions you
distinction.
ask yourself.
Experience
If you never
alone
ask,
does not make you
am
wise.
I moving in the right direction?
Evaluated experience
You will drift.
does.
And
That's why
drifting
learning from others is so powerful.
will waste
You
your
can borrow
time,
decades
energy,
of insight for the
and
price
potential.
of a book.
Step 3,
If you become more
ask questions
valuable,
about your
income
relationships.
has no choice
Life
but
is
to
not
follow.
lived in
The
isolation.
marketplace
Your
always
relationships
pays
with
for
family,
value.
friends, colleagues,
So,
mentors shape your
get
experience
smarter.
more than anything else.
Step 3,
Ask
turn
yourself,
knowledge
am
into
I giving
action.
more than I take?
Now let's
Am I a
address the
source of
missing link
encouragement
for
or
most
criticism? Who
Execution.
do I spend the most time with, and are
Information
they
without
helping me grow?
application is
Am I
entertainment.
learning from people
Many
wiser
people
than
know
me?
what to do. Very few
I
people
often tell
do
audiences,
what they know.
You are the
Design your
average of
days
the
with
5
intention.
people you spend the most
Decide in
time
advance
with.
how your time will be used.
So ask
Success
yourself,
is scheduled.
Are my
Small
friends lifting me
disciplines,
up or dragging me down?
Perform daily.
Are my children
create
learning
massive
from my
results
example?
over time.
Am
don't
I
have to change
nurturing
everything this
relationships that matter?
But you must
Or am I wasting
change
time on
something.
people who add
Start
nothing of
where you
value
are.
to my life?
Use what you have.
I remember sharing
Do
this
what you
story in a
can.
seminar. A
Consistently.
man came up to me and said, Jim,
Action
I
is
feel
the great
stuck.
separator between
I can't
those
get
who
ahead.
dream and those who build.
I asked him, who do you
So,
spend your evenings with?
Get started.
He said, mostly
Step 4,
friends at the local bar.
cultivate inner drive.
I said, then the
Let's talk
solution
about
is
emotional
simple.
endurance.
Change your
The
company.
journey from ordinary
Spend
to
time with
prosperous
people
is
who
not a
have
straight
the
line.
habits,
There will be delays,
the mindset,
disappointments, and
the
doubt.
discipline you want
What
to have.
keeps you moving
He did.
is not
And within months, his
excitement
life
from
began
outside.
to improve.
It's
The
purpose
questions you
on the
ask about
inside.
your relationships
When your goals are connected
determine
to
the
who you wanna
quality of your
become,
life more than your
motivation
income,
becomes
your
self-renewing.
education,
Protect your
or
attitude.
your job.
Negativity
Step
is
4,
expensive.
ask
Complaining
questions about your
weakens
time.
resolve.
Time is the one
Gratitude
resource you
strengthens
cannot
discipline.
buy, borrow, or
Feed
replace.
your mind with vision,
Ask
not
yourself,
fear.
how am I using my time
Your
each
internal
day?
dialogue
Am I investing in things that will pay
eventually
off 10 years from
become your
now?
external
Am I wasting
reality.
time on entertainment that
Step
doesn't
5,
nourish my mind?
Learn to
What
step
could I do today
away.
that my future
Now let me
self
share a
will thank
principle
me
that
for?
separates
I remember saying to a
success from
seminar
fulfillment.
audience, most
Achievement
people
without
plan their
enjoyment
vacation better
is
than they
an empty
plan their life.
You must learn
Think about
to
that.
pause, reflect,
People spend months planning a
appreciate
2-week vacation,
progress.
but
Time
don't spend
away
10 minutes
sharpens
planning their life.
perspective. Quiet
Ask
thinking
yourself,
time refines
am I working on my business
judgment.
or my job?
relationships.
Am I
give
working on my
meaning to
mind
ambition.
or just filling my
Prosperity
mind
should
with
serve
noise?
your life, not replace
Am I
it.
growing as a
Schedule
person every
time
day?
to live, not
The
just
answers to
earn.
these questions
So,
determine whether
get
your
away.
life is reactive
Let me close with
or
this.
proactive.
You are not
Step
paid for
5,
your effort. You are
ask
paid
questions
for your
about
value.
your finances.
And value
Money
is
is
not
important,
something you pursue
but how you think about
directly.
money is even more
It's
important.
something you become.
Ask yourself,
If you work harder
am
on
I
yourself
managing
than
my
you
money
do on your
wisely?
job, your
Am I
future will
saving
take care of itself.
consistently? Am I
These
investing
5
in my
principles are
education
simple,
as well as my
but
bank
they are
account?
not easy.
Am I
And that is
spending on
precisely
things
why
that
they
matter, or on
The
things that
question is not
vanish.
whether these ideas
I
are
often tell
true.
the story of
The
a young
question
man
is
who
whether
wanted to
you
be
will apply
wealthy.
them.
He said, Jim,
Decide
I want a lot of
today
money.
and let
I
the
asked,
next
how
5
much have you
years prove
saved
it.
so far? A seminar on the
He said
power
almost
of
nothing.
daily
I said,
discipline.
then start asking
Ladies and
better
gentlemen, thank you. I'm glad you're
How
here,
can I
because
increase
if you're
my value?
here, it means you care
How
about
can I
progress. And progress is a
earn more?
fascinating subject.
How can I spend
Most
less?
people want dramatic
The
change.
better questions
They want
lead
transformation.
to better answers.
They want the
And
breakthrough.
better answers
But
lead
what
to
they don't
better
understand is this.
results. Step
Breakthroughs
6.
are public.
Ask questions
Consistency
about
is
your health.
private.
Your health
And
is your
life
greatest
responds
wealth.
to what you do
Ask
privately.
yourself,
Not occasionally.
am I taking
not
care of my
emotionally,
body?
but consistently.
Am I eating
Let me start with
wisely
something
and
simple.
exercising regularly?
Success is not built
Am
in
I
a day.
resting enough?
It is
Am
built
I reducing
daily.
stress and taking
That's a big
time
difference.
for reflection?
You can't eat one healthy
always
meal and
said,
expect a healthy
if
body.
you don't take care
you
of your
can't read
body,
one book and
where are you
expect a
going to
transformed
live?
mind.
Your energy,
You can't make one
your
sales call and
vitality,
expect a
and your
thriving
ability
business.
to act on
It is not
opportunity
intensity
depend on your
that changes
health.
your life.
Ask the
It is
question
consistency.
and act on
The
them.
myth of
It
motivation.
is never too late.
Now, people often say,
to make
Jim, I just
small
need more
changes
motivation. No, you
that
don't.
add up over time.
Motivation is
Step
temporary.
7.
It's like
Ask
taking a
questions
shower.
about your mind.
You feel good,
Your
but it
mind
doesn't
is like a
last.
garden.
That's why you need it
Ask
regularly.
yourself,
But
what am
discipline,
I thinking about most
discipline
of the
is structural.
Am I feeding my
Motivation
mind with
gets you
ideas that
started.
help me grow, or
Consistency
ideas that bring me down?
keeps you going.
Am I learning something
And the marketplace
new every
does
day?
not
I
reward
often tell
enthusiasm.
audiences,
It
formal
rewards
education will
consistency.
make you a living.
Your family does not
Self-education will
benefit
make you
from
a
your
fortune.
good intentions.
Ask yourself,
They benefit
book will I
from your
read this
steady
month?
presence.
what mentor can I learn from?
Your body does
What
not
skill
respond to
can
your
I develop
inspiration.
that will increase
It responds
my
to
value
your habits.
in life.
The power of
Your
small
mind
acts. Let me ask you a
determines
question. How much
your
exercise
results.
does it take to be
Better
healthy?
questions create a
Not
better
extreme
mind.
exercise.
A better
Just
mind.
enough. How much
creates
reading
a
does it
better
take
life.
to stay sharp?
Step 8.
Not 10 hours
Ask
a day.
questions about
Just
your
enough.
legacy.
How much saving
Finally,
does
the
it
most
take to
important
build
questions are
wealth?
about your legacy.
Not everything you earn.
Ask yourself,
Just enough.
how will I be remembered?
Small amounts.
What impact
Repeated.
am I having on the
Here
people
is what
around
most
me?
people underestimate.
Am I leaving the world
Small
better
disciplines,
than I found it?
compounded
Am I
over
teaching,
time,
mentoring,
create
or
massive
inspiring
results.
others?
And small
I often
errors,
remind audiences,
compounded over time,
success is
create
not
disaster.
what you accumulate.
Consistency works both
Success
ways.
is what you
it
attract.
builds,
And what you attract
or it destroys.
is a reflection
farmer's
of the
lesson.
person you become.
If a farmer goes out and plants seeds for 1 week,
When you ask these
and
questions,
then decides he doesn't
you
feel
shift
like
your
farming
focus
anymore,
from temporary
what happens?
gains
Nothing grows.
to lasting success.
You cannot plant occasionally and
Ask
harvest
questions
consistently.
that challenge you.
The law of the
best
harvest
questions
says
are uncomfortable.
you reap
They
what
make
you
you think,
sow,
reflect, and
you
act.
reap later than you
Ask
sow,
yourself,
and you
what
reap
am I
more than you
avoiding that
sow.
I know I should face?
But only if you keep
What
sowing.
fear is holding me back?
The soil
What
does not
opportunity
reward
am I ignoring?
enthusiasm. The soil
What am I
rewards
willing to do
consistency.
differently to create
And
the
life is very
I
much
want?
like soil.
I once shared
The
with an
gap
audience,
between start and
if
finish.
you want your life to
Most
get
people
better,
are excellent starters.
you must
They
get
attend the
uncomfortable.
seminar.
Comfort
They buy the
is the
book.
enemy of
They write the
growth.
goals. They join the
Questions are
gym.
the tools
And then
that
they
take you
disappear.
from comfort
Because somewhere between
to growth.
start and finish is monotony.
The better the questions,
and
the
monotony
better the
is where
life.
winners are
Step 10,
separated from wishers.
Ask questions daily.
The middle is boring.
Finally, make
The
this
middle
a
is
daily
repetitive.
habit.
The
Ask
middle
yourself
is
questions
quiet.
every day.
But the
Start
middle
with
is
one
where
simple
success
question in the
lives.
morning.
Consistency
What one thing
builds
can I do
identity.
today
Here is
that
something
will make
powerful.
the biggest difference.
Consistency
in my life?
doesn't just
End
change
with
your
one
results.
question at night.
It changes
What
your
did
identity.
I do today to grow?
If you read
learn,
every day,
or
you become a
improve?
reader. If
Ask
you
yourself
exercise every
questions
day,
consistently,
you become a
and
healthy
your
person.
life will respond.
If you keep your promises
Because
every
life
day,
does not give
you
you
become
answers
reliable.
for free.
You are not what
Life
you
does
say
not
you
reward
are.
passivity.
You are what you
Life
repeatedly
rewards
do.
those who
And
think
identity
deeply,
drives behavior.
reflect honestly,
The more you act
and
consistently,
act intentionally.
the more natural
So
success
today I
becomes.
challenge you to make questions
Emotional
your most
stability.
powerful tool.
Let me tell you something
Ask
important.
questions about yourself.
Consistency
Ask questions
requires
about your goals.
emotional stability.
Ask questions
You
about
cannot
your
be
relationships,
governed by
time,
mood.
finances, health,
If
mind,
you
and
only
legacy.
act when you feel like
Ask
it,
questions
you will
that
live a
challenge
very
you.
small life.
Ask questions
Because
daily.
feelings change,
The life
weather
you dream
changes,
of is not out
energy
there somewhere.
changes,
It
circumstances
is inside
change.
you, waiting
But
to
your
be
commitment
unlocked
must not.
by the
The
questions
amateur
you
waits
ask
for
and
inspiration.
the actions
The
you
professional
take.
shows up
Remember,
regardless.
Success is
If
not
you want
something
professional
you pursue.
results,
Success
you must
is something
adopt
you attract
professional
by the person you
consistency.
become.
The danger of stopping.
And the person you
Here's the tricky
become
part about
is
consistency. shaped by the questions
It's fragile.
you ask. You can build momentum for months and break it in days. You can build trust for years and lose it in one moment of carelessness. Your best life. You can build health for a decade and undo it through neglect. You ask today. Success loves momentum, and momentum loves consistency. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Once you stop, starting again is like you taking the time to compound effect. Let's talk about money for a moment. Something about if you save a small amount every week consistently, what happens? It grows. And that's what we're going to talk about. Not dramatically at first. Not just success. In fact, at first it feels insignificant. Not just achievement. But over time, we're going to talk about your future. Consistency turns human life into prosperity. Is moving in one of two directions. Spend a little more than you earn, or toward regret. What happens? And here's the tragedy: most people never realize too. They don't choose regret. Consistency does not care which direction you avoid discipline. And regret shows whatever you practice. Let me start with relationships and consistency. Life relationships are built the same way. You don't know, not through grand gestures. Life punishes you for what you don't do. Through consistent kindness. Life doesn't respond to intention. Consistent life doesn't respond. If you only show love when it's convenient, don't be surprised when love weakens. Action requires. If you only apologize when forced, don't be surprised when trust erodes. Discipline is self-respect. Consistency builds security. It is the decision to do what is hard now. Builds strong relationships. So life can be easy later. People ask me, Jim, what's the secret to health? Regret is what happens when you choose what is easy reasonably and discover later rest that life became hard. Do it consistently. Two prices. You don't need years ago I learned something that shaped the rest of my life. You need daily effort. There are only two prices. The body rewards rhythm. The price of discipline. The body responds to repetition. And the price of regret. Miss a day, discipline weighs ounces. Miss a week, weighs tons. Trouble. You don't feel disciplined very much today. Consequences. Getting up early feels small. Reading 10 pages you may not hear all. Saving a little money feels small. It is doing the same right things over and over feels small. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. Regret arrives heavy. It is structured. Regret arrives waking up when your health fails. Studying the same way. Making calls when your relationships tracking numbers every week. Reviewing goals when retirement comes. Consistency removes chaos. Chaos destroys discipline whispers. Regret the discipline of review. My early one years. Of the great disciplines is review. When I was young, I was broke. Goals once a year, not temporarily broke, and forget them. Professionally broke. I worked hard. I had a job. I showed up every day, but I was going nowhere. Monthly. I used to say things consistency like, and reflection. Well, prevents inconsistency in behavior. That dangerous word. If you don't measure, someday is not a plan. If you don't review it, an excuse, you forget it as optimism. If you don't correct it, I blamed everything. Showing up, the economy. Let me make this very opportunities. If you want to change your life, do until this. One day a mentor of mine every day. Jim, if you don't feel good, show up when you feel tired. Show up when you feel discouraged. But it woke me up when no one applauds. You don't because here's what happens when you show up consistently. People notice. That's when I realized something important. Opportunity grows. You cannot negotiate, but more importantly, with reality. Self-respect. Reality always collects. You begin to believe in yourself. Discipline begins with not because you succeeded once. Discipline does not begin with action. It begins with thinking. Consistency and character determines your behavior. Character is built through behavior determines your results. Integrity is not proven in a single moment. It is proven over tomorrow. If your words and actions match consistently, if your philosophy you are trustworthy. I deserve if they only match occasionally, you are unpredictable. Becomes permanent. And unpredictable people rarely lead. I am responsible. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility builds responsibility is the foundation of discipline. Influence builds. You cannot build a strong life on blame. Here's what gives consistency. This is my life. Time. These are my choices. Time magnifies everything. The question is not what can you do today. The question is what can you do every day. I stopped waiting for someone else to rescue me. Because anything you do every day shapes your destiny. I started rescuing myself. The man who reads 20 pages a day becomes educated. Here's what most people misunderstand. The person who saves daily becomes financially stable. It's not dramatic. It's not one big decision. The athlete who trains daily becomes skilled. Going to bed when you should. Not because of talent. Eating what strengthens you. But because of accumulating instead of scrolling. The courage to saving instead of spending. Consistency requires courage. Character not the courage to leap, regret, the courage to continue, to keep going when results are invisible, avoiding tough conversation when applause is absent, goals, to keep building when growth is one day. The early stages of consistency feel always lead somewhere, but growth is happening beneath the surface. Let me tell you something. Just like roots before the tree, comfort is dangerous. Guard your standards. Is where dreams go to die. Consistency depends on standards. Comfort is where ambition gets sedated. What comfort whispers you've done enough. If you lower your standards, consistency collapses. Tomorrow, if you protect your standards, slowly builds consistency strength. I tell people, your standards determine your actions. Check your direction. Your actions determine growth. Feels uncomfortable. Final learning feels uncomfortable. Let me leave you with this. Change. You don't need to be extraordinary, but stagnation feels you don't need to do everything until it doesn't. You need to do the right things repeatedly. You don't need a breakthrough year today. You need disciplined days. It waits until your energy fades. Because days turn into weeks. Until your chances narrow. Weeks turn into months. Until your body slows down. Months turn into years. Then regret. And years turn into a life. And when someone looks at your success, they will say, you should have tried, you should have taken care of yourself, but you'll know the truth. You should have told them you loved them. It wasn't luck. Regret speaks in should-haves. Thank you. Discipline speaks in daily habits. Work harder on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I used to work hard at my job. Here today. Hard. I want to talk about something that will never go out of style. Jim, don't work harder on your job. Timeless. Work harder on yourself. Something that is far more important. Your job can make you a living. But working on yourself makes you a fortune. I want to talk about building a strong character. Emotionally. You see, wealth, spiritually, success, relationally, education, your income will rarely exceed your personal development. They are all useful. Neither will your happiness. They all can serve you. The invisible bank. But if you don't have a strong character, I want you to imagine something. They will serve you poorly. Make deposits or they will vanish when tested in an invisible account. A strong character it's called your future. Is your inner backbone. When you read, you the unseen foundation. When you exercise, you deposit. Upon which, when you save money, you deposit. When you keep your word, you deposit. Every joy when you waste time, you withdraw. Without it, when you quit early, you series of disappointments. When you lie, you withdraw. And regret. When you ignore your health, now I want to share with you what I have learned one day about character. Life hands you over the years, not just from books, and whatever is there. That's what from some of the wisest mentors I ever had, like Earl. Discipline is not just about money or experiences that taught me lessons I could not. Strong relationships require discipline. I want to give you practical listening when you'd rather talk, real life guidance, forgiving when you'd rather hold resentment, on how to build a strong showing appreciation because a life of integrity, discipline is easy. Connection takes effort, but neglect always creates regret. Let's begin. One day you realize. Step one: take full responsibility for your life. You didn't listen. Character begins with responsibility. You didn't show up enough. You cannot build a strong character by blaming others. Regret mourns them. You cannot develop integrity while pointing fingers. Your health works the same way. You cannot grow courage while waiting for someone else to save you. Every walk is a vote. I once told an audience, every late night is a vote. You cannot change the world if you cannot for the body you will live in later. And the first step in changing yourself maybe is accepting responsibility. Habits run stronger. You don't wake up this lesson the hard way. You practice it. When I was young, I worked strong. You practiced that too. And I was broke. The courage to complain to everyone I could. Discipline starts about the economy. My courage to admit colleagues, I can do better, and my lack of money. Courage to say, and you know what happens now? Nothing. Courage to start when you feel unprepared. Earl Schoaf. Most people wait until they feel confident. Jim, stop complaining. Confidence comes after action. You are not poor because the economy is bad. You don't get motivated because your boss is unfair. And motivation you are poor because you have not learned the skilled gratification philosophy to create value. Delayed I did not like hearing. It's saying no to the cookie, he was right. So you can say yes to health. He taught me that the moment I took full responsibility for my life, freedom. Not just my job to distraction, not just my finances, you can say yes to but all of it. Things begin to change. To the wrong thing. Here's the principle: is a yes. If you take responsibility, your future self you gain control. Here's a powerful If you blame others, your future self is watching you right now. I often share the story of a man who was a manager, watching how you spend, constantly about his employees, watching whether you quit. He said, your future self is either saying thank you, I asked him, or do you think your employees work any harder than you do? Which conversation do you want? He thought for a moment and said, I suppose not. Success is not something you chase. Then the problem is you. Success. Lead them better. Train the person you become. Inspire them. And becoming requires responsibility is the first cornerstone. You don't attract success by wanting it. When you attract success, your integrity grows, valuable. Your confidence grows, skills, and your life grows. Character is not tested when things are easy. These are magnets. It is tested when things are difficult. Principle. And the foundation of character in difficult times. Everything in life is accumulation. Discipline is accumulated between goals and achievement. Failure is accumulated. We have said that many times before. Nobody ruins their life in one day. But it is even more essential. Nobody builds a great life in one day either. It's daily. Why? Quiet. Because character shows itself in what you do until suddenly everyone says, wow, you're lucky. No. You see, character is like a muscle. Choose your hard, and muscles grow through discipline is hard. If you want a strong back, choose your hard. You lift heavy. Working out if you want strong legs, being unhealthy is hard. And if you want a strong character is hard. You practice discipline. Being broke. Let me give you an example I often share. Learning is hard. I remember speaking to a young man who wanted to become successful in business. The final season. He said, "I want success." Let me leave you with this. One day you will reach a season. Are you willing to do the small things every day? You will look back. It will take years, and you will either say, "I'm glad I did." He said, "I want it now." I said, "Then I am afraid character is not ready for the reward you want." And that life gives rewards to those who are prepared. By what you do when nobody is starting my own journey. By what you choose when it would be easier. No contacts. By whether you practice discipline. But I studied every day to quietly take root. I read books. So here's my challenge to you. Start small. I wrote down goals. Read 10 minutes. Walk 20 minutes. Save $5. I worked on my own goals. Make one even when no one was watching. I practiced the little practice daily, creating extraordinary lives. And remember, keeping promises, you cannot change my expenses, but you can build tomorrow. Working diligently begins now. It all seemed small. It all seemed insignificant at the time. But every small action added up. That is what builds character.
Today I want to share a simple framework.
A strong character is consistent behavior aligned with your values.
Ordinary results
and discipline gives you that consistency.
Rewards.
Step 3.
This is not
live with integrity.
It's not about luck.
The third cornerstone of strong character is integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. It is being honest, truthful, and fair in every action.
Stay with me.
It is being loyal to your word. I once told an audience, your reputation is the shadow of your character.
Can change the entire
and it will follow you everywhere
of your life.
Let me give you a real life story.
Let me begin with the reality.
Early in my career, I had the opportunity to make a deal that could have made me some quick money.
Average is not a
but
disaster.
It required me to cut a corner,
slow leak.
To be less than honest.
Most lives don't
I hesitated. My mentor said, "Jim, do you want to be rich today, or do you want to be rich forever?" I chose the latter. I did not make the easy money, but that choice shaped the rest of my life. You see, integrity is not just a moral choice, it is a practical one. It builds trust, it builds relationships, it builds a reputation that lasts.
And comfort.
A man or woman of strong character cannot be easily manipulated, cannot be easily shaken, and cannot be easily replaced. Step 4. Learn from every experience. Now, discipline and integrity are essential, but life will still test you. And here's where strong character grows even more. Learn from every experience. Success teaches lessons. Failure teaches lessons. Every conversation, every opportunity, every challenge, all of them teach lessons. I often tell audiences, don't just read books. Live books. Apply what you learn. Fail. Succeed. Reflect. Adjust. I remember my mentor telling me, "Jim, don't wish life were easier. Wish that you were stronger. If you encounter difficulties, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What in my character is being tested?
What habits must I
The answers to those questions strengthen your character. Step 5.
Serious people
surround yourself with strong people. You cannot build a strong character in isolation.
The moment you get serious,
you must surround yourself with mentors, peers, and friends who reflect the character you aspire to have. I remember when I first started attending seminars and workshops. I met people who had discipline, courage, and vision. Simply by being around them, I absorbed some of their mindset. Earl Schoaf said to me, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I took that advice seriously. I quit complaining friends. I left unproductive habits behind. I sought out those who could challenge me, teach me, and inspire me. Strong character grows when you are influenced by people who embody strength. Step 6. Take action consistently. Character is not built in theory. It is built in practice. You can read every book on integrity, discipline, and responsibility. But if you do not act, nothing changes. I often tell audiences, knowledge without application is wasted. Action without knowledge is reckless. Combine both, and you are unstoppable.
The marketplace
Strong character is shown when you take responsibility,
get smarter.
Exercise discipline,
Step 3,
live with integrity, learn from experience, and then consistently take action. And action is not glamorous.
Without application
Often, it is small, daily, and routine. I used to save a little money each week. I used to read a chapter of a book every day. I used to keep my word even on trivial things. Those small actions accumulated over time. And over time, your character grows. Step 7, face adversity with courage. Finally, strong character is revealed and strengthened in adversity. Life will not be easy. Life will not be fair. But how you respond to adversity defines your character. I tell people, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change requires courage.
Let's talk about emotional
courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action despite the fear. I remember early in my career, I spoke to small groups. Often I was nervous. I was inexperienced. But I forced myself to speak anyway. Each time, my confidence grew. Each time, my character grew. And life will give you bigger tests. Strong character allows you to face them with grace, patience, and resilience. So, what is the reward of building a strong character? Respect from others.
Step 5.
Self-confidence. The ability to handle adversity.
Now let me share
a meaningful life. True success. And here is the secret. Strong character is its own reward. It allows you to live with pride, to sleep with peace, and to walk with dignity. You see, people may take your money, your position, even your reputation. But no one can take your character unless you give it away. And character, once built, becomes the foundation for everything else. If you build a strong character, success, wealth, influence, and joy will naturally follow because people trust you, opportunities seek you, and life opens doors to you. So, my challenge to you today is simple. Take responsibility, practice discipline, live with integrity, learn from every experience, surround yourself with strong people, take consistent action, face adversity with courage, do this, and you will not only have a strong character, you will have a life worth living, because success is fleeting, wealth can vanish, on the power, fame is temporary. But a strong character lasts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm glad you're here, because if you remember, your life is a reflection, and progress is a fascinating subject. Build it wisely. Most people want dramatic change. All right. They want transformation. They want the breakthrough. But what they don't understand is this. Breakthroughs are public. Consistency is private. And life responds to what you do privately. Not occasionally, not emotionally, but consistently. Let me start with something simple. Success is not built in a day. It is built daily. That's a big difference. You can't eat one healthy meal and expect a healthy body. You can't read one book and expect a transformed mind. You can't make one sales call and expect a thriving business. It is not intensity that changes your life. It is consistency. The myth of motivation. Now, people often say, Jim, I just need more motivation. No, you don't. Motivation is temporary. It's like taking a shower. You feel good, but it doesn't last. That's why you need it regularly. But discipline is structural. Motivation gets you started. Consistency keeps you going. And the marketplace does not reward enthusiasm. It rewards consistency. Your family does not benefit from your good intentions. They benefit from your steady presence. Your body does not respond to your inspiration. It responds to your habits. The power of small acts.
And he never complained.
Let me ask you a question.
One day I
How
asked
much
him,
exercise does
"Why
it
do you
take
work
to
so
be
hard
healthy?
when you already
Not
own the
extreme
company?"
exercise.
He smiled
Just
and
enough.
said,
How much reading does
someone
it
is
take
always
to stay
watching.
sharp? Not
That
10
lesson
hours a
stayed
day.
with me.
Just enough.
Leadership is not
How much
announced.
saving does it take to
It is
build wealth?
demonstrated.
Not everything
want
you
to lead
earn.
others,
Just
someday,
enough. Small
start by
amounts.
leading yourself today.
Repeated.
Discipline
Here is what
the
most
bridge
people
between
underestimate.
goals and
Small disciplines,
undisciplined
compounded
people
over time, create
disciplined
massive
people
results.
build.
And small
Leadership
errors,
does not come from
compounded over
motivation.
time,
Motivation
create
fades.
disasters.
Leadership
Consistency
comes
works
from
both
habits.
ways. It
Reading when
builds,
others are distracted.
or it destroys.
Learning when others are
The
resting.
farmer's lesson.
Preparing
If a farmer
when
goes
others
out
are
and
reacting.
plants seeds for
I
1
once met a
week
young man who
and then
wanted a
decides he
promotion.
doesn't feel like
He
farming
said, "I have
anymore,
talent, but no
what
one
happens?
notices me."
Nothing grows.
So I asked, "Are
You
doing
cannot
more
plant
than you're paid for?"
occasionally
He
and
hesitated.
harvest consistently.
Leadership begins
The law of the
moment
harvest
you
says,
decide
you reap
bring
what you
more
sow,
value
you
than
reap later
expected.
than you sow,
before
and you reap
recognition,
more than you
before
sow.
reward.
But only if
Leaders
you keep
accept
sowing.
responsibility willingly.
The soil
The
does
moment
not
you blame
reward
someone
enthusiasm.
else,
The
you
soil
give away your
rewards
power.
consistency.
I have
And
watched
life is very
capable
much
people
like
lose
soil.
influence.
The gap
Not
between
because they
start and
failed,
finish.
but
Most
because
people
every
are
failure
excellent
had an
starters.
excuse attached
They
to
attend
it.
the seminar,
And I have watched
they buy the
average
book,
people rise
they write the goals,
because they
they
said,
join the
"The
gym,
responsibility
and then they
stops with
disappear.
me."
Because somewhere
That
between
sentence
start and
alone can
finish
change
is
your
monotony.
future.
And
Leadership
monotony
grows
is
the
where
moment you
winners
stop
are
making
separated
excuses.
from wishers.
Leadership reveals
The middle is
itself most
boring.
clearly under
The middle
pressure.
is repetitive.
One of the greatest
The
examples
middle
of this
is
came
quiet.
during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
But the middle is where
President
success
John F. Kennedy
lives.
faced a moment
Consistency
where one
builds
wrong
identity.
decision
Here is
could have
something
ended
powerful.
civilization.
Consistency doesn't just change your results. It changes your identity. If you read every day, you become a reader. If you exercise every day, you become a healthy person.
He listened.
If you keep your
He
promises
resisted
every
ego.
day, you
Instead
become
of reacting,
reliable.
he
You are not
responded.
what you say
That
you
calm
are.
decision
You are what you
prevented
repeatedly
nuclear war.
do.
Leadership
And
is not
identity
loud.
drives behavior.
Leadership is steady.
The more you act
Anyone
consistently,
can lead
the
when
more
things
natural
are
success
easy.
becomes.
Leaders
Emotional
emerge
stability.
when fear
Let me
enters
tell you
the
something
room.
important.
Here's a principle
Consistency
I learned the hard
requires
way.
emotional
Don't
stability.
wish for
You
fewer
cannot be
problems.
governed by moods.
Wish for more
If you
skill.
only act when you feel
Leaders
like it,
grow
you will
into
live a very
responsibility.
small life.
They
Because
don't wait
feelings
to
change,
be ready.
weather changes,
Reading,
energy changes,
thinking,
circumstances
reflecting.
change. But your
Refining
commitment
character.
must not.
As you
The
grow,
amateur waits for inspiration.
your
The
influence
professional shows up
grows.
regardless.
And influence
If
is
you want
leadership.
professional results,
Leadership is the ability
you must
to
adopt
transfer belief.
professional
You don't
consistency.
need fancy words.
The danger of
You
stopping.
need clarity.
Here's the tricky part about
A
consistency.
leader speaks to be
It's
understood.
fragile. You can build momentum for months
People
and
don't
break it
follow
in
ideas.
days. You can
They
build
follow
trust for
conviction.
years and lose it in
conviction
one
comes
moment of
from
carelessness.
preparation.
You can build health
You are
for a
always
decade
teaching.
and undo
Even
it
when
through
you are
neglect.
silent.
Success loves momentum, and momentum loves consistency.
If you
Once
want
you
honest
stop,
people,
starting again
be
is
honest.
twice as hard. The
If you want
compound
committed
effect.
people,
Let's
be
talk about
committed.
money for a moment.
Your
If you save a
example
small amount every
speaks
week
before your
consistently,
words
what
ever
happens?
do.
It
The
grows.
greatest leaders
Not
serve
dramatically at
first.
first. In
Leadership
fact,
is
at
not
first it
about
feels
being above
insignificant.
people. It is
But
about
over
being
time,
useful to people.
it becomes powerful.
Ask,
Consistency
how can I
turns
help?
pennies into
How can I add
prosperity.
value?
Now reverse it.
Service builds
Spend a
trust.
little more than you earn.
And trust
Consistently.
builds
What
leadership.
happens?
Leadership is
Debt
uncomfortable.
compounds too.
Growth is
Consistency does not care which direction you
Responsibility is
choose.
uncomfortable.
It
But
multiplies
regret
whatever you
lasts longer.
practice.
Leaders
Relationships
do
and
what is
consistency.
hard now,
Relationships are built
so
the same
life can
way,
be easier
not through grand
later.
gestures,
Leadership is
but
not
through
reserved
consistent
for the
kindness,
gifted.
consistent
It belongs to
listening,
anyone willing to
consistent
grow.
respect. If
Decide
you only
to
show
work on
love when it's
yourself.
convenient, don't be
Decide to
surprised when
accept
love weakens.
responsibility.
If you only
Decide
apologize
to
when
serve.
forced, don't be surprised when
Decide to
trust
improve.
erodes.
And one day,
Consistency
quietly,
builds security,
people will look to you.
and security
Not
builds
because you
strong
demanded
relationships,
it, but because you
health,
earned it.
and consistency.
That
People ask me,
is the
Jim,
fundamental
what's the secret to
of
health?
becoming
There isn't one. Eat reasonably,
If you will change,
move daily,
everything will change.
rest adequately, do it
You don't have to
consistently.
change what's outside.
You don't need heroic
you have to
effort.
change what's inside.
You need daily effort. The body
To have
rewards
more, you
rhythm.
simply have to become
The body
more.
responds to repetition.
Now, money's not the only place
Miss
to
a
start.
day,
Money certainly
fine.
isn't the only value.
Miss a week,
We've all got to
trouble.
start somewhere. And
Miss
money's
a
something you
year,
can count.
consequences.
Right? Kids are interested in
Success
money.
is boring. Let me say something you may not hear often. Success is boring. It is doing the same right things over and over again. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is structured. Waking up at the same time, studying the same way, making calls every day, tracking numbers every week, reviewing goals every month. Consistency removes chaos. Chaos destroys progress. The discipline of review. One of the great disciplines is review. Most people set goals once a year.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
and
being
forget
here
them.
today. I want to begin
Winners
with a simple
review
observation.
daily,
Life is not
weekly,
determined
monthly.
by your circumstances.
Consistency and
Life
reflection
is not determined by
prevents
luck.
inconsistency
Life is
in
not
behavior.
determined by the economy.
If you don't measure
your
it, you
job,
drift.
or your boss.
If you don't review it,
Life is determined
you forget it.
by the questions
If you don't
ask
correct it, it
yourself.
compounds.
Yes, the questions
Showing
you
up.
ask yourself today,
Let me make this
tomorrow,
very practical.
and every day.
If you want to
Because
change
the
your
quality
life,
of your life
do
is
this.
directly
Show up
related to the
every
quality
day.
of your
Show up when you feel good.
I learned
Show
this
up when you
many
feel
years ago
tired.
from my
Show up
mentor,
when you feel
Earl
discouraged.
Schoaf.
Show up when no one applauds.
He said to me,
because
"Jim,
here's what
the
happens
easiest
when you
thing in
show
the
up
world is to do
consistently.
what's
People
easy.
notice. Trust
The
grows.
most difficult thing is to
Opportunity
ask
grows.
yourself the
Skill
questions
grows.
that make you grow."
But more importantly,
And I believed him.
self-respect
You see,
grows.
most people go through
You begin to
life
believe in yourself.
asking questions
Not
like,
because you succeeded
why
once,
is life so hard?
but because you
Why
kept
am
going.
I not rich yet?
Consistency and character.
Why does success come
Character
to
is
some
built through
people
consistency
and not to me?
Integrity is not
Those are the
proven
wrong
in a single
questions.
moment. It is
Wrong
proven over
questions
time.
bring you the wrong
If your
answers.
words and actions
Wrong
match
answers
consistently,
bring
you are
the wrong
trustworthy.
results.
If they only
If you
match
want a better
occasionally, you
life,
are
you must
unpredictable.
learn to ask
And
the
unpredictable
right
people
questions.
rarely lead.
Step one.
Consistency
Ask
builds credibility.
questions about
Credibility builds
The first
influence.
set of questions is about who you are.
Influence
and
builds
what you are
opportunity.
becoming.
The long
Because
view.
life is not
Here's
something
what gives
that happens to
consistency
you.
its power.
Life is
Time.
a reflection of the person
Time
you are.
magnifies everything.
Ask yourself,
The question
who
is
am
not
I
what can
really?
you do today.
Am
The
I
question is
growing,
what can you do
or
every
am I
day.
stagnating?
Because anything you
What
do every
habits
day
am I
shapes your
practicing
destiny.
that are helping me?
The man who reads 20
and which
pages a day
ones
becomes
are hurting me?
educated.
What is my
The
philosophy
person who
about
saves
money,
daily becomes
relationships,
financially
and time?
stable.
Am I becoming
The athlete
person
who
I need
trains
to
daily
be
becomes
to
skilled.
achieve my goals?
Not because of talent,
I remember telling a
but
young man
because
in
of
a seminar,
accumulated effort.
you are
The
working
courage to
hard,
continue.
but are you working
Consistency
on the right
requires
things?
courage.
Are you
Not the
working on
courage to
yourself?
leap, but the courage to
puzzled.
continue. To
I
keep
said,
going when results
"Don't
are
wish
invisible.
life were easier.
To keep
Wish you were
practicing when
better."
applause is absent.
That is the
to keep
first
building
key
when
question.
growth is slow.
Am I growing to